Right, just following on now with problems with this winch. Now initially it wouldn't winch out, it would only winch in. Now I've checked the motor. I'll just adjust me there, my light in there, look, there's my motor. That's working fine, that goes backwards and forwards, whichever way you want to wind it round. Here is the gearbox, that's all stripped down now, all the gears are freed off, and if you put the rod in here you can actually turn this ever so freely by hand, which I'm really happy with, which means if there's anything seized in there and it's struggling away, it's going to just take power out of the motor, which in turn should be power given to you in pulling you out your muddy hole somewhere. But that's all working fine. The brake, there don't seem to be anything wrong with that. The rollers seem to be fine, and everything else that just wants the paint scraping off there and greasing up, and etc. when it goes back in. But anyhow, I've now traced the fault to the solenoid, which would only wind in but wouldn't wind out. Now it's because one of the solenoids was sticking. There's two little solenoids there, one for the windy in, one for the windy out. This one here is the windy in, this one here is the windy out, and this one here was stuck. Basically the reason it was stuck because it was full up with, you can see it's all rusty, and you can see here on the gasket it's all rusty marks there. Reason being, water had actually got into it, and the water had got in through this hole down here. That hole should have had a screw in it. There's 3 screws that actually hold that top bit together onto this bit here. Should be one screw in there, screw in the middle, and a screw on the end there. The one was missing, so water has come through this little hole here, obviously run around in here. Not a lot of water, but enough obviously to sit in this solenoid here and get it to stick. Now I've given it all a good squirting with WD-40. This one is now freed off. This one was working anyway, but I've let the WD-40 soak for a while, and I should probably leave it actually and let it soak overnight. But just to show you how it works, when you push the in button, this will makes contact here, which in turn that bit here is inside that hole, which pushes that up, which makes contact here, and that sets everything in motion on the motor. And vice versa for this one here, when this one pops up it pushes that one there, which makes contact, you know, with the terminals, etc. and all that round there. Don't want to get too technical with it. Anyway, if I can show you how this works. If I leave my screwdriver sitting in there and I press the in one, woof, and away it goes. You can hear it click there, and the screwdriver fires straight out. I need to push the solenoid back down because it would automatically do it with that, because that is spring loaded there, and that would automatically push the solenoid back down. This one's already down. Just to show you that one's working, I push the out button on my remote control here, and away it fires there. And of course push it back down again, because that would normally push that one back down. Now hopefully once I've cleaned all of this up and put it back together and filled in any holes with more screws or silicone or whatever, the idea is, I suppose really, is to keep all the water out of this altogether, and I'll maybe leave a little bit of a squirt of WD-40 in there anyway. Don't suppose a little bit of a light oil would hurt in there, but I'm presuming it should be just bone dry really. But anyhow, I'm going to give it all a cleaning up and put it all back together, and hopefully it will work. Okie dokie, I hope this has been a little bit educational for you, especially for you there, Dingle mate. I'll catch you all later.